All right, let's get into the power rankings, and you guys tell me if there's anything that's crazy about any of this. So I have in the top tier the teams that I think can win the SEC championship: Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, Alabama. I think that I have now been convinced that I need to put Tennessee into that top tier. T.O.
You're welcome.
I think you sold me.
You're welcome.
That's what I would.
It's good that you are. I mean, look, it's hard to. Every year we count Rick Barnes out early, like we don't put him in tier A. So let's just put him there.
Yep. So tier A, those 5, I would have them in that order personally, but I can be talked out of pretty much anything apparently. For the not quite title contenders list, it's now just Auburn. I had Tennessee and Auburn there. It's now probably just Auburn. If Bruce Pearl was still coaching, to be frank, I think that Auburn would probably be in that top tier. Is that fair? Is that crazy to say?
I agree with what you're saying.
I think it's fair. I think it's very clustered at the top.
Yes.
Of the SEC. I think there's a lot of really, really good teams. I don't know if there's necessarily an elite team in that group. Next group, 7 and 8 for me would be the sleepers. I like Oklahoma and I like Texas A&M. I like them both quite a bit.
All right, give me the Oklahoma fodder here.
They bring in Xavier Brown, who is a really, really good point guard. I think Darian Reed is going to take a big step forward this season. Nigel Pack is shockingly still with eligibility.
He's my age.
Yeah, he's still with eligibility. Year 6 for him, but he's been nothing but a 14 points, 3.5 assists, shoot at 40% from 3 guy for now 5 years in college basketball.
It is absurd that he's still playing.
Yeah, why would we think he's going to be anything else? Tay Davis is a talented, productive dude, and I'm buying the idea that Milwaukee could be able to make things work for him. They got a little bit of depth. I don't think that there's enough bodies on the bench to be able to handle, like, you get a couple sprained ankles with that starting 5, you might be in trouble. But I really, really like the top 5 that Oklahoma's put together. I think that they're getting back into the tournament this year, and I don't think that they're doing it as a 6-12 SEC team. T.O., we talked about Texas A&M.
I like them.
Yeah, they got shooters. Mbako's going to be in the right spot. Pop Isaacs is going to be healthy.
Jakari Lane is good.
Yep. And so I think Texas A&M has got a chance to make a little bit of noise. Yep. I'd throw 3 more tournament teams into the mix that I feel good about dancing. Okay. Missouri at 9, and I feel like I'm kind of low on Missouri.
Low on them. Would have put them up a tier.
Yep. Ole Miss at 10. I think that there's enough there for Chris Beard to find a way to be able to make that thing work. And then I have Texas at 11. It's a weird roster with Texas. I don't like counting Shawn Miller out for anything, though. So I would probably have them in the mix. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt are the ones that are tough for me. Vandy's like top 20 on all of the metrics in the preseason.
They don't turn the ball over and they hit shots.
I don't. Yeah,
I
it's not like the roster isn't super like sexy, but they don't turn the basketball over. They have guys that are going to shoot high percentages. They hit the free throws.
It's a good way to do it.
I like that. That sounds like winning stuff. Like, you got a Cornell transfer. Duke Miles is pretty good. Frankie Collins coming over, medical red shirt. Like, just a bunch of guys that are good. Tyler Tanner, I thought was underrated. I thought he was just a really good freshman last year. Didn't score a ton, but took care of the ball, never turned it over. The stuff they preach and the stuff they, basically that are the staples of that coaching staff, you don't turn it over and you create easy looks. And they're going to guard. I just think they do winning things, and they're going to continue to win. I think Vanderbilt's an underrated job. They really like basketball there.
Yep.
And there's real momentum behind that athletic department.
I agree. I mean, I do think that as long as Mark Byington is in that role, that they're going to be in the mix. And, I know that the metrics say one thing, and I don't think that they're top 20, but I expect Frankie Collins, Tyler Nickel, Devin McLaughlin on the interior. They've got some pieces there. They've got Tyler Harris potentially off the bench. That Vandy, to me, they're going to have some staying power. And, oh, by the way, you saw it last year as the year went on. That building got going. And that place was not
That place
easy.
is cool, man.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite places.
Really?
Yeah, it's just. Have you been there?
No.
So I thought I was going to be a Vanderbilt guy whenever I was like a sophomore in high school, because I was starting to get attention and it was high academics, which I'm glad I didn't do that. But like I thought I was going to be a Vanderbilt guy. I'll go up there on a visit and Stallings breaks like 3 TVs after James White freaking pistol whips him, like beats the absolute brakes off of him. And like my dad was like, "No, I think we're good." he saw how crazy Stallings went after a game. But yeah, that's a cool place though. I mean, you're sitting up on a stage. It's on a platform. So like if you're watching it as a fan, the court comes up to about right here. And then the student section, like, so you're elevated. It's really neat. Really neat. And the benches are on the baselines.
Yep.
It's a cool spot.
It's hard to think that, but if I had to bet between Vandy and Mississippi State, man, it's really, really difficult for me to go against Josh Hubbard. Like, Mississippi State is just so hard-nosed, gritty, in your grill, from tip. He is such an underrated coach nationally. So I just think that that's a team that even, like, they're the team that gets in the first 4, and you look and you're like, if you're the opponent, you're like, oh, shoot. Well, I mean, I just
State and Vandy, they're like polar opposites, right? Where Vandy does all the things that you need to be able to do to win, but I don't know if they have the talent to be able to pick off some of the big boys. Whereas Mississippi State does none of the things that you're supposed to be able to do to win, but they got the talent where, like, if Josh Hubbard and Jaden Epps both get it going, they could literally go out there and probably beat the Hornets.
If they got the big boys.
Yeah.
And Epps is better as a number 2. Like,
they might also lose to Mississippi Valley State. Like it's you never know.
Yeah, but they just guard you off the bus, and he's just, his teams are so tough that it's hard to think that if they're around, like, and that's the benefit of the SEC. If you're on the bubble in February, you benefit because every game means something.
Yep. The rest of the teams, I have Georgia 14th, LSU 15th, South Carolina 16th. I'm not really excited about much on any of those rosters. Shout out to D-Don Thomas. I hope that it goes well for him.
The player that everybody's going to love to hate, and I think he's going to have success a little sooner rather than later, Eli Ellis at South Carolina is a certified insane person. Not only is he a certified insane person, he can play. Like, he's going to have a 30-point game this year in conference play, and he's going to talk mess to everybody. You guys remember Marshall Henderson a few years ago? Same vein.
Do I remember Marshall Henderson? Is
same
that
vein?
Question?
Of course you did. But same vein. This guy is legitimately a little crazy, and he's tough enough to back it up whenever he's talking to everybody and their mother in the crowd. South Carolina is going to win some games you're not supposed to, because Ellis is going to have 40 in a game or something. Like, it's going to be funny to watch, and everybody's going to be like, I hate that turd, or they're going to be like, man, that guy's awesome. It's going to be one of the two.
Do you remember when Marshall Henderson used to tweet about how he would have White Girl Wednesdays every Wednesday?
Is the neighborhood somebody asking for you?
There's garbage pickup freaking going crazy. Say that again.
Do you guys remember when Marshall Henderson would talk about
I don't remember
every Wednesday was White Girl Wednesday?
He was nuts. I mean, he was really crazy.
High entertainment value with that.
Putting
guy.
Marshall Henderson together with Andy Kennedy was probably like,
yeah.
I don't know if that was the worst or best thing that's ever happened to college basketball, but it was so much fun.
That was a match with kerosene.
Marshall Henderson, after they beat I can't remember who they beat in the NCAA tournament. It was like they had a 12:30 game, and he leaves the arena and goes to the bar that is connected to the arena, and he's hanging out drinking beers with the Ole Miss fans, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, I'm celebrating. We just won. White Girl Wednesday.
Oh, man. You said that.
He was ridiculous, dude.
That's just I am intrigued to see in the SEC how buckyball can provide a different dimension in the league. And then Shawn Miller, like, you're talking about a coach who at Arizona made them a monster, and now I just wonder, like, it's Texas, and this is a job that it just feels like over the last 2 decades, this is a job that since Rick Barnes just has kind of had this weird rotation, right? Mm-hmm. Texas has had a strange road, and we know. what football's supposed to do. Not this year, has not even come close to doing that. And in basketball, like, I always think, like, okay, Shawn Miller's a really damn good basketball coach, and now he's got an unlimited bankroll at Texas, or one would think. I mean, he's going to have a lot of money to spend. They have a beautiful facility. Like, it's not going to be this year, but I am intrigued big picture to see if it pops. And if Texas, when we talk SEC, we're still adjusting to Texas and Oklahoma being in this league. But, like, will Texas, that's a big question, T.O. Under Shawn Miller, will Texas ever get to the tier A?
Doster and I have talked about this. I think he's got to go back to his old ways at Arizona. Huge physical, throw in a draft pick at the guard spot, and then we'll see what happens. But he's got to go back to his old ways. And it's so much easier to sit here and say that behind a microphone. But I loved his Arizona teams because they would just beat the ever-loving hell out of you. It was like old school Big East kind of roster makeup. I think he's going to get back to it. It's just, it takes a while.
I think he will have Texas in the top 4 to 5 of the SEC. And there will be a year here or there where they are like a title contender. But I also think it's very difficult in this era where rev share is going to be dominant and Texas football matters more than anything else. Like, what if Sark ends up leaving and they got to go hire a new football coach, right? And they're going to have to go get a new quarterback because Arch Manning isn't very good. And they're spending $40 million or whatever it is a year building these football rosters. Is there money to be able to do what you got to do?
Dude, this is Texas.
This is Texas.
This is Texas.
Well, no,
there's so much oil in them fields.
But what I'm saying is, like,
oil money is different.
Do they want to spend that oil money on the basketball team is my question.
Dude, it could be chump change, and it's still 20 mil.
You might be right.
That 20 mil fall out of the Cowboys' pocket.
Postseason awards or preseason awards for the SEC. I got Otega Oweh, preseason player of the year. I went with Darius Acuff as the preseason freshman of the year. I got your boy Jacoby Gillespie as the transfer of the year, T.O., and Porter Moser as the Big 12, the SEC preseason coach of the year, just because I'm kind of betting on Oklahoma. Bold prediction in the league, then we'll get to All-Americans. Bold prediction. T.O., give me a bold prediction in this conference. I feel like you got to lean all the way in on Tennessee now.
I was going to. That's kind of where I was going. Tennessee wins the regular season.
Wow.
Rocky Top. I'm not going to do the rest.
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
I didn't know Jimmy Dykes moved to Knoxville.
Good cool. Old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee.
There you go.
Give me a bold prediction in the SEC.
Bold prediction in the SEC. 3 teams in the Elite 8. Those teams are Kentucky, Arkansas, and in a shocker, Missouri.
Ooh, okay.
Missouri goes on a March Madness run behind Coach Gates. We did not cover Missouri much, but there you go. A little outside the box. Anthony Robinson, Sebastian Mack. Mark Mitchell is still playing college basketball. Look for the Tigers to do something come the madness. There's a super bold one for you. I don't think
that's too hot for me.
That's hot. That's hot. Yeah, Missouri goes on a tournament run, but Arkansas makes the Elite 8. So Cal and Pope are both in regional finals. There you go.
My bold prediction is that Arkansas gets to a Final Four.
Wow.
Say that again.
Arkansas gets to a Final Four.
Dude, these bold takes just out of pocket. Like we have established Field of 68 as the boldest of takes. we have been doing this for a while. And if you go too far, we have not hit.
He makes the final.
We have not hit.
But T.O., what happens?
Right?
What happens when I say something so ridiculous and it finally does hit? I will look so smart. No one forgets the misses.
Run with that for 4 years.
But longer than that. I will run
Yeah.
until the day that I die.
You know how this goes, right? They make the Final Four, and then he looks up, and they look up, and it's Arkansas St. John's in the Final Four. No,
Well, what I'm doing, Tia, what I'm doing is I'm preparing
works.
myself for the eventual culture war that will exist between myself and Jeff Goodman when I can say I've been on the Arkansas bandwagon all season long, and Goodman has to say no, I don't. So
Right.
I hear that.